Monday night, only one NASCAR show delivers the drivers, the crew chiefs, the latest news and information, and expert analysis from the epicenter of NASCAR Nation, Charlotte, North Carolina. Don't miss a full hour of NASCAR Race Up, presented by Hooters, Monday night, 7 Eastern, only on Speed. Get a pit update. We go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. The 51 of Eric Almirola came in. I told you he said it was plowing real bad. They did right side tires there. But Eric says he has so much drive up off the corner, believe it or not, it may be too much. And so Richie Waters is down here getting a different shock. They're actually talking about coming in and changing a shock on the truck. And if they do that, they're more than likely going to go down a lap. But Eric says there's no way he can drive it the way it is right now.
Might have a shot at getting
and
that.
Ricky Carmichael made 2 trips down the pit lane, Ray, and we showed the fact they were pulling tape off the nose and he was overheating. He had lost so much water that he came back down at lap 11. They added water to the radiator. They feel good about where they are now. From that standpoint, the unfortunate thing, after going from 21st to 16th, he will restart outside the top 30. A long night trying to get to the front for Carmichael.
And the safety crews continuing to clean up the incident in turn number 1 with Chris Jones. That truck is off the racetrack. The 51 on pit road. We'll be back. Be the biggest racing fan you can be with Verizon Championship Racing at the track and on your phone. From nationwide and IndyCar driver meet and greets to exclusive peeks inside the Penske Garage right on your VCast phone. We're your hard card to racing nirvana, only from the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon. Again, our first caution came out when the 87 of Chris Jones got into the wall in turn number 1. We're ready for the restart. Fans up on their feet. Timothy Peters brings him back to the green flag.
Didn't quite get the jump on Kyle Busch that time. Kyle was able to hang on that left rear corner, but Timothy's going to use the momentum on the outside and clear Kyle.
That's you held your breath there for a second.
Were you trying to tell him as a spotter would tell him?
Well, I just think it's so fun as a race fan. Timothy Peters, here comes Kyle Busch looking back to the bottom. Timothy Peters did a great job on the start of this race, cleared Kyle Busch and got the lead. He was driving along comfortably. Caution, lap 10. Come on back inside, Kyle. Try it again.
Let's see what happens once again.
Double file restart for the best.
Great. Side by side back here between Skinner and Bodine. Bodine on the outside. Skinner still working the bottom of the racetrack. He's one of the only trucks we've seen really try to hug the yellow line since the start of this race, which hasn't been too long.
Pretty good corner right there. Wasn't quite able to clear Todd, but he's doing a pretty good job hanging in on the bottom.
At some point, Rick, everybody will be all the way down on the bottom and everybody will be all the way against the top. It just depends on what your situation is, what your circumstance. Right now, Mike Skinner's got a good truck trying to make that pass down on the bottom, but Todd's making it hard on him.
Tell you what, I think Skinner might be irritating Todd Bodine right now. It looked like Todd may have brushed the wall coming at it too.
I think it looked like he got awfully close if he did not make any contact. If the contact was there, it was just very slight.
Skinner stays to the inside. Bodine on the outside. Skinner way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now it looks like Todd Bodine's got the advantage as he pulls in front.
I can't tell you how hard it is to run that bottom down there. It's an easier groove to run around the top, but you can't just line up and ride behind the guy, and then as soon as you commit to the bottom, get up beside him. If you can't complete the pass, what happens? They freight train you on the outside.
Now Johnny Sauter's going to try to take advantage of the outside. Good battle on the left side of your screen. That's battle for 13th. Brad Sweet in the 90. Shelby Howard driving the KHI number 2.
There you see the 13 of Johnny Sauter making the pass on the 5 of Mike Skinner. We'll see if Skinner will move up the racetrack at all and try to protect that position.
Now we have trucks running underneath the yellow line. Mike, you talked about being all the way down to the bottom. They're below the bottom.
You got to use all your options, Phil.
We normally see that out of Kyle Busch. He'll either run right up against the wall or sometimes on the apron. Brad Sweet now trying the low line in that number 90.
Trying to get by the 92 of Dennis Setzer. Dennis following the 7 of Justin Lofton.
We talked in qualifying earlier about Dennis Setzer and his successes on short tracks and the fact that his trucks normally never have a scratch on them. By the end of the race, you normally never see a scratch on the 92 of Dennis Setzer because he really never gets into a position where he mixes it up with anybody else.
I didn't think he could fit between the 90 and the wall just then, so I knew it was going to be scraped up, but Dennis pulled it off. You're right, he takes care of his truck, and 9 times out of 10, he'll figure out a way to get it up toward the front.
Johnny Sauter pulls to the inside of Todd Bodine. That is a battle for the 6th position. Johnny Sauter is on the move.
Johnny Sauter trying to make up some positions on the racetrack, and he gets by that 30 of Todd Bodine. So now Sauter has moved up into the 6th position.
Good battle for 4th right there. Matt Craft on the 88 has it. The 31 of James Busher trying to get it.
Adam Alexander.
Matt Crafton running where he started this race, as Phil said, in the 4th position. He said the truck is good in 1 and 2, but pushing the nose in 3 and 4. And right behind him, James Busher started 3rd, currently riding 5th. He said we need to free it up in the center of the corner. He's looking at the inside again.
Check out Narain Carthagena trying to get on the inside. Oh man, that's just about a crash off turn 4.
This is still James Busher and Matt Crafton. Busher went all the way down to the apron. Now looks like Crafton's got that spot in front of James Busher.
Man, you ought to have seen these two, Rick, a second ago. The tire monkey was dead sideways, and Narain looked like he didn't know which way he was headed. Check it out. They exited turn 4. That's why I got all excited. Check out the battle these two are having.
See Narain on the bottom of the racetrack, going to slide up.
They make a little bit of contact, get together there. It gets worse.
And Narain did a nice job of not overcorrecting and chasing that truck up the hill and making even more contact with the 12.
Yeah, you know, last week, watch Tire Monkey. The Tire Monkey and the 60 truck had problems getting along last week, remember? There was a different driver in the 60, but the same 2 trucks.
Eric Almirola now on the back bumper of Narain Carthagena.
Remember, Eric made a couple pit stops under that caution flag, so he started from the very back of the pack. He's going to try to work his way underneath this 60 of Narain Carthagena. Ray, what went on with the 51 truck?
Well, Phil, they did not make the shock change, but Richie Waters still has it sitting on the toolbox if they need it. They did climb underneath and open up the valving on the left rear shock a couple of clicks. So far, Eric say it still has too much drive off, so they're going to try to do some adjustments whenever we get our first round of pit stops. He's trying the bottom side of the racetrack, but still tough place to pass.
Almirola running 18th. Carthagena is 17th.
How much fun is it to watch Richie Waters work over a truck? He doesn't mind using all options to get that thing tuned up, and he got to start early tonight. He didn't like it early on, so they're already working on it.
He pitted on lap number 11 and 12 and 14.
And luckily, you guys never question his calls.
No,
Never.
not more.
How could you?
Not often.
Timothy Peters has been out front every lap. We've completed 31 of the 200 scheduled for tonight's race. Kyle Busch has been, well, right on his back bumper, shadowing that 17 around this 5/8 mile racetrack. He challenged him twice at the start of the race and at the restart of the race. And since then, Timothy Peters has been in front of Kyle Busch. Timothy Peters looking for another win in the Camping World Truck Series. He's got 1 short track win from Martinsville. He's trying to make it 2 here at ORP.